The road to La Plata. Here, folks, here's a wild western sunset. It's what I live for. Right there. The beautiful mountains. Looks like Mars. Look at that. It looks like Mars. All orange is red with the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm cruising down the Scenic Canyon, and it's La Plata Canyon they call it, and there are some snow-capped peaks. Some beautiful backcountry. I don't know if I'm going to make it before dark. I may have to come back. I'd like to come up to Dixie Valley again, to be honest with you, and do the cemetery, and do Middlegate Station, and come up here, and if I have to come up here and stop here for an hour or so, I'll do that too. I really don't care. I like this whole area, and I like to check it out, and you can't check it out if you're not willing to drive the distance. Moonroof. Moonroof. You getting chilly? It's dropped 10 degrees, man. Look how close that was. Holy shit. That dude was probably flipping. He was like swerving and shit. It's like, it's alright, dude. You don't have to panic. I will get over. I'm in control. People always think, oh, Lord Rick doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's not in control. Not true. I'm very alert at all times. My safety's important as much as everyone else's. And so we're almost in Mountain Wells. 6 miles to go. We'll stop at the well. We'll get to La Plata. It just has a plaque and a few foundations. Hopefully we can turn on an EVP. If not, you guys will enjoy the sunset photos and the video footage at least. It's not a rugged canyon. It's a very wide canyon. It's scenic. I mean, the mountains look orange to red with the sun gleaming on them, and there's snow. And I mean, I'm totally stoked about this trip. I think this is one of our better adventures today. I really do. I think that we've seen antelope, wild horses. We've had a good adventure since this morning. Hiking, exploring. It's great. Come around, the mountains kind of get lower, and this is the southern portion of the Stillwater Range, and you can see it's just mere hills. So we're really not going to be up in the mountains. We're going to be in the foothills of the Stillwater Range coming up. Mountain Wells will be our first stop. La Plata is the second stop. I hope to hit them both. When you're in adventure, you find out you get caught up in every adventure, and you just never have enough time to complete every place, do every place, look everywhere, and that's why Bigfoot and other creatures and UFOs remain elusive. There's simply not enough. One person cannot cover enough territory in one day, a week, let alone 50 years. It's just not possible. There's places here man's never been. At some of these peaks up here, nobody's been up there. At some of these places, in these canyons, there's caves that nobody knows about with Indian wall paintings, petroglyphs. They're finding them all the time. That's why the Wild West, it's one of the best places I've ever moved, because it holds so much mystery and strangeness. And I'm telling you, folks, you never know what you're going to find, what you're going to see out here. And every time you brave it, every time you explore, you may stumble upon, like Tammy and I were talking, you may stumble upon cans with $10 million worth of gold. These people had $10 million worth of gold they found in cans. In cans. Buried, because the miners wanted to protect their loot. One last look, everybody, before we reach Mountain Wells. Look at that beast of a cliff. The sun's just hitting it right. It looks orange. Looks like we're in Utah, man. You see a lot of that bluffs and cliffs like that and redder color rock in Utah. The sun's hitting it, so it looks a little redder. But that's cool. That's some pretty scenery, and that's what you'll see going down some of these unknown canyons in Nevada, or less, hitting the backcountry and less known parts of Nevada. You're going to see cliffs and mountains that a lot of people never get to see and you won't see online. Just a lot of landmarks that you only could see if you were to off-road in a canyon like this. Beautiful. I lied, folks. We're in Australia. We traveled to Australia in the Jeep. I just, fixed it up, put some wings on it, and we flew out there. Just kidding. But I bet you some people would probably believe in, oh, that looks like Australia. It really does. Okay, the road splits. I'm sure some of these turns to the left are old mining roads or hikes in the canyons. A lot. See, that goes off into a canyon. That's how Nevada is, folks. All these roads are old wagon and Pony Express routes, overland routes that go through these narrow canyons. And today they're kind of rugged to driving, but you can hike. But you know, you're 50 miles in the middle of nowhere. Look, there's a cave or something up there. You see that shit? Look at that. Fucking cave, man. That's a cave or a mine. Whoa. In the side of the cliff. Look at that. Oh, man. That's cool. So I showed you guys a cave. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot of people that go out looking for these caves. Unknown caves that go in. They slip down a slippery wall or along the, you know, there's rocks and boulders in some caves where you go between two rocks into a chamber and then you can't get out. And they might go 100 miles underground. There's no source of food. You might have some water. You could drink some water, but who knows what's living in something like that? Reptilians, underground aliens, creatures that have adapted. It's said in multiple cataclysmic disasters on Earth that humans evolutionize and went separate ways, or like you might have lizard people or hybrids of some other kind, like Sasquatch, and they've learned to live the underground. The Hopi went underground for hundreds of years. They could have evolved, and they're very advanced by now, thousands of years later, thousands of feet below where we walk. All it takes is one crevice, hard to get to cave, one tunnel, and you just keep spelunking and climbing deeper and deeper. Next you know, you might be in a 500-mile cave system, and chances are, some of them even go 1,000 miles, chances are you'll never get the first 10 miles. You might. What the hell's that? Some snow up here, man. Might be the road. It's driving fine. I better check it. It's fine. Woo! We fixed that flat, guys. Good teamwork. Yay! It's smooth. The rotor, the rim on around the rotor had gotten pinched. Folks, just letting you know that the jack slipped, the Jeep sunk into the soft sand, and then what happened next is the rim that goes around the rotor bent, so the rotor wasn't going to spin. It should spin freely. And I had to get a screwdriver, which I carry a couple in my bag just in case. And people ask, why do you carry a screwdriver? And the reason is because screwdrivers can fix at least 25 or 50% of your problems when it comes to gadgets and cars. Your battery cable might come out and you might, have to screw the bolts back on. You just never know. But we're back. We're not going to go to Mountain Wells. We're not going to go to La Plata. It's dark. We would not see where anything is. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff by the road, a corral, and a couple, like, foundations, but I want to see everything. So we'll come back probably in about 2 weeks. And I got another ghost town near here we'll check out. And I got to go back to Dixie Valley to go finish up the cemetery work. And that's not far from La Plata either. It's just on the other side of the Stillwaters. It's like 23 miles from here, so the road was good. We just simply had a flat. And I had gotten this brand of tire I've never heard of. They're mediocre ratings. What was those tires called? Corsair? Yeah, they gave us Corsairs, and this is a decent road, and bam, it went flat. And the problem could have existed the past week where it was starting to separate on the bands, or maybe it was a slow flat and it just kept expanding. Driving on this road probably heated it up enough to expand. It's so dark you can't even see the mountains. The only good thing about coming down this road is I got some really cool scenic pics of the sun and the red cliffs, and I got some sunset photos near La Plata. So when I come back, during the day, I won't have to worry about getting any pictures around dusk out here, because I'll have a few of what it looks like when the sun goes down in the canyon. However, you know, the whole thing that sucks about tonight is we were only a couple miles away from mountain wells. There's a well up there, and then a windmill and a corral, and then if you go a little further, there's the La Plata plaque with a few foundations. It's just a little small stopover. It's so close to Fallon. It's not a far ride. It's only like 80 miles from the Lake Tahoe area. It's not that far. People sometimes think, oh, you know, Lord Rick travels hundreds of miles. Yeah, you're right. I do travel hundreds of miles, but this is an accessible ghost town, and even though it's very remote, and it gets remote fast, it's not as far as like Tonopah or Belmont. You know, no 50-mile dirt roads. These are just 10, 20-mile. Well, the one road I was on is a 50-mile dirt road today. I was on the 30 or 40-mile end of it, south of Lovelock. These are back wagon roads to these old boom-minded towns. Some of the towns are still open. They just resorted to ranching instead of mining. This town was a little bit of both, little ranching and mining. I think it even had a post office. It's very pretty back in here. Wish I would have gotten to see more, but we'll be back. And we're heading out of La Plata. We're heading out of the La Plata Canyon. And we're going to go to the walk in Fallon to get some Thai food. I need a hot meal. I'll tell you what, after the tire went on, because we had to dig. The jack wouldn't go any higher. We had to dig in the ground. And, you know, we had a shovel for treasure hunting, and we had just the right odds and ends. A screwdriver to fix the rotor. And the jack sucks. I'm buying a new jack this week. But you can't really see nothing, so I'm going to get going. We had a great day up in White Cloud City. Seen some foundations, hiked in a pretty canyon, seen tons of wild mustangs and cattle and rabbits and birds. Hiked along a creek, climbed up and seen the Carson Sink. And we almost made it to Mountain Wells in La Plata. But it's not a big deal. We're heading out of the canyon, but it's still dark and there's only a crescent moon. But I want to thank everyone for watching our videos. You guys have been great. We're getting thousands of views, lots of support. And everybody's like, I like these movies, because lately I put out whole movies that are an hour and a half long, where you'll get the ride in, the ride out, or as it changes from, you know, dawn to dusk, or we start off in the morning at dawn like we did today, and I've been filming all the way to dusk, and you guys are going to get a mix of off-roading, rock climbing, historical sites, adventure. Even I filmed the flat tire briefly, just so you could kind of see the shit we got to go through. And hey, we're just a volunteer paranormal group. It's more or less, it's a hobby. I love exploring and adventuring, but I also like spending time with my family. And you never know what can happen. You can see UFOs, you can see ghosts. It's the land of mysteries where we're at. A lot of lore, a lot of tales, a lot of strange happenings. And we're leaving it in nightfall. Got a spare tire on. It's actually better than the tire I had on. It's got better treads. It's probably made for off-roading. And we're not, I thought, here we are, we're driving into the sunset. Well, now we're leaving at night. And we didn't even get to see anything but some great scenery. And then all of a sudden, bam, you could hear it on video when I was filming, flat tire. But I've seen more wild horses and antelope than I have in my entire life. And so it was not all for nothing. And a lot of adventure and rock climbing. And, oh yeah, getting wet in the creek. Peace out, everybody. Make sure, again, you check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, your gateway to the strange and the unknown. And follow our motto: truth, adventure, and friendship. Yeah, I didn't have the bright lights on. I thought it looked a little dim. I'm like, it looks dim. There's just nothing out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't see the mountains. I can't see the desert. I could see a little into the desert, but so, you know, you could have some monster standing there, some winged creature, or friggin' aliens, and you would never even know they're standing there looking, except the gleam in their eyes when the light hits it. It's about a 25-mile ride out of here. Got to go through Stillwater, drive to Fallon, where heaven awaits, the walk, because I'm going to do the walk with my dusty ass. Looks like I've been under a car tab. He says, well, I was kind of under the Jeep, and just glad it didn't follow me, and I ended up dying out here. So I guess the adventures will continue. The Lord Chronicles of the strange and the odd and the disastrous at times. Just wanted to film what it looks like with the brights. You guys seen it without the brights. You've seen it with the brights. It's still just as dark. Oh, well, it's a little brighter. Big whoopie-doo. We're in this narrow canyon, and we got to still drive across the Carson Sink and the wetlands. We'll make it. Tires holding up good. And there's a crack in the road. Wow, lovely. You can tell the BLM doesn't keep up nothing out here. The canyon walls, man, they're steep as hell. See all the rocks falling from rock slides? Yeah, and still anything could happen. A rock could fall and knock you out, knock the vehicle over, or the axle or brakes. So you gotta be careful. Expect the unexpected.